order the Rock Valley College Community College District number 511 regular board meeting for Tuesday, August 25th. Can we have, did we, so you weren't here. We couldn't have appointed you permanently because there was no voting, so I'd like to appoint Kristen Simpson, the acting recording secretary. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Roll call on that.
Trojan?
Yep.
Kristen Simpson, yes. I'm going to just go everybody's name since for the first one. Gloria Cudia,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Soltau, Ortiz Espinoza,
Yes.
Gorski.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we just have a roll call of all those in attendance tonight.
Okay, I'll do one more of everybody's name and then
Right.
never again. Okay. Trojan?
Yep.
Simpson, yes. Cudia, Nelson, Soltau, Ortiz Espinoza,
Yes.
and Gorski.
Okay, thank you very much. We have no board member attendance by other means of physical presence. Both trustees Soltau and Kadia have advised me they will not be in attendance this evening. Communications and petitions. Any, other than public comment, do we have any other communications? Letters, announcements?
No.
No, okay. So we have two speakers tonight, and I will take Erica Reed first.
Oh. You'll hear a lot.
And I remind you, you have 3 minutes, and then any additional minutes if the board members have questions for you.
Good evening. And my name is Erica Reed. In 2023, I reviewed the National Mental Health Curriculum. Out of 897 public graduate programs, only 15 required a domestic violence course and 85 offered an elective. Often the electives were not offered on a regular basis and the content was poor. Why are domestic violence courses necessary for mental health professionals? Besides obvious reasons, they have high rates of malpractice. Common complaints include not recognizing domestic violence when presented in a scenario, giving women dangerous advice, counseling women to try harder, and siding with perpetrators in counseling sessions and custody cases. These complaints have been widely documented in research journals, government hearings, and by experts for nearly 50 years. What's also been documented is the need for mandatory courses in higher education, continuing education, and fieldwork. The mental health boards or accreditors oppose domestic violence education. You can read their recent objections on the Hawaii Senate page, see Bill SB 2111. To make matters worse, the DV coalitions have advised lawmakers not to sponsor bills and have either remained neutral or sided with the boards in several other states. What about RVCC? RVCC should offer and require a DV 101 course for all relevant majors. Quality undergraduate courses should include experts like Lundy Bancroft, Elaine Weiss, Jill Corey, Karen McAnlis Davis, Barry Goldstein, and Vanessa York. They are reliable sources or experts who have written classic texts. Your psychology chair, who is a therapist, could not name these books or experts. Although she is in favor of mandatory graduate classes, which I appreciate, she is not in favor of undergraduate psychology classes. Professor Julie Hernandez stated that the topic could be included within social and abnormal psychology classes. Although I appreciate her time, she did not seem interested at this time. Your library director stated that domestic violence is not relevant to RVCC majors. She argued that this is a technical college. She declined to order the classic book, The Batterer's Parent. She also has peculiar views on books in general. She stated that books are like used cars. They lose their value over time. Besides psychology, nursing is another relevant major. Common complaints include not screening for strangling and DV in general, not making referrals, and refusing evidence collection of both domestic violence as well as rape. Although I'm not well versed in medical education, offhand I can name a quality continuing education course offered by a nurse through the South Carolina Coalition. Given the advanced nature of the subject matter, the high malpractice rates and the prevalence of men who abuse and commit crimes against women, I highly recommend domestic violence courses for the next semester and content during the interim. Thank you for your consideration.
Any questions? Don't leave. I have some. So, any questions? Well, first of all, thank you for bringing that to our attention. I would suggest if you have an idea of specific curriculum or something, direct it to the president's office, and we'll let him mull it over and bring it to us and his staff. I understand it sounds like you've already talked to some of the staff, but if you could, let's document that communication to the office of the president, and then we'll take a look further. Having been in a household where my mom was subject to domestic violence, this is of interest to me. So thank you for bringing it to our attention. Any other questions? John?
You're welcome. And I'd be happy to do that.
Well, the Rock Valley College Board, and we don't go by CC, we go by RVC, but is an elected board of 7 representatives, and we have a student trustee who's sitting here. But we set policy. We don't get involved in the day-to-day or even long-term running of the college, and it's sometimes a tension between the board and the staff. But you would have to, as Paul pointed out, if you could write maybe a 2 or 3 page letter to the president's office outlining your concerns and some reasons for those concerns, but more importantly, suggest an outline for domestic violence and reference these works that you've talked about. I've been a lawyer for 50 years, and I've done my share of criminal work, and there's no question that domestic violence is a very serious problem. In my opinion, in the legal world, we've had strides, and it's really kind of, or I think it turned for the better when we got our first woman jurist, and that was Rose Collins, Judge Rose Collins, now retired, who speaks regularly on the issue. She and I didn't always see eye to eye on all of the facets of domestic violence, so I think it would be important to at least have the president consider that issue. And as Paul has said, there are many more people who have experienced issues of domestic violence in their home than other, some people you think don't live near you or anything like that. So if you could, thank you, and we'll follow up, and I hope you do follow through.
Thank you.
Yeah, please do. Sorry, I just want to, coursework or education and this type of thing I see as falling under our purview as policy. And so if the state of Illinois can require units of government and the staff of those units of government to take cybersecurity awareness training, sexual harassment awareness training, Open Meetings Act awareness training, I think we can do some domestic abuse awareness.
Absolutely, and I would, and a couple of points. The legal profession also has very high malpractice rates. Having worked with lawmakers across the country, yes, they do pick and choose what education they will require. The bill that I suggested was tied to the licenses for clinical social workers, psychologists, counselors, and marriage and family therapists. When those individuals graduate, they turn in their transcripts to the state licensing boards. The boards have a checklist. And what I suggested, which has been suggested in the research for 50 years, is that at least one of those courses needs to be on domestic violence. Now, my advocacy has not pertained to the undergraduate level. I have my hands full. I'm one person. But domestic violence is relevant to the undergraduate level because that's where you get your foundational knowledge. That's where you read these classic books, the Lundy Bancroft, Elaine Weiss. Then when you go to graduate school, you do your clinical work. And in the case of the mental health professionals, they have a lot of formats of counseling, individual counseling with women, with batterers, with couples, and nowadays a lot of them have discovered they can make an awful lot of money doing custody evaluations. I had two vigorous discussions with two of the professors today. I was not successful at convincing them that the foundational knowledge belongs at the undergraduate class, at the undergraduate level. That's where you get your basic concepts. Now, the exception would likely be nursing, or if there is a social work program, then clinical skills would need to be included at the undergraduate level.
And I just like to add that in the mental health world, domestic violence, domestic abuse can be, certain mental health conditions could maybe lend itself to one being an abuser, also then being a victim. You create mental health and situations, and then being in the environment with domestic violence and domestic abuse. If you don't get the right counseling, it comes out 45 years later at a board meeting. So thank you.
Of course, the effect
Amanda?
is always long-term.
Amanda?
And may I add that I discovered, speaking about the value of books, following a Senate hearing in Iowa back in 2024, when the mental health boards and the coalition said that they don't want the classes and the government shouldn't tell them what to do, I discovered a document at the library at Rockford University, which has an older collection, although I suspect it's being weeded out. And there was a booklet assembled of federal hearings from 1978 and I believe 1982. So hearings began under the Carter administration and they continued under the Reagan administration. And the mental health leaders, the medical profession, and I believe the law profession, don't quote me on that, they all agreed to mandatory classes in higher education, as well as continuing education for the licensed professionals and mandatory field work.
Well, thank you very
Yes,
much,
you're
ma'am.
very welcome.
Thank you. We're exceeding our time
Amanda
limit
has a
here.
comment.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that actually our faculty have proposed, and we are bringing now to ICCB, our board, an actual certificate in our human services program that is family and domestic violence, and it does include several courses, as one might imagine, but one of them is specifically family and domestic violence. So we definitely concur that that is a true issue that needs to be addressed within our community, and we'll continue these conversations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Our most consistent fan in the audience, Dick Rundle. You're not going to make me cry, are you?
I'll try.
Okay.
He's kind of mean.
That's why I'm here, because I'm your most consistent fan. I'm speaking on behalf of Eliminate Racism at 815 as the president of that organization, which is how I started coming to board meetings a year ago, January. But I'm also speaking as a citizen of this college's district and as an elder. I'm 83 years old. I've learned a lot of things in my life. And I wanted to say, first off, thank you for the downtown campus, and especially thank you to this man who had a tremendous amount to do with it happening toward the end and it being open on time. But what I really wanted to say to everyone, I taught here for many, many years, 5 years as an adjunct. 2 of those semesters I taught full-time for people on sabbatical. And then I taught for an extensive period of time here. And I am just amazed at how much this college has developed since I was here. And all of you, the board, Dr. Spearman, and all of the cabinet, I just can't express as a citizen of this community my gratitude and appreciation to you enough for all that you do. And I wanted to say that because many, many years ago, I taught at Danville Community College for a while and then became director of the Developmental Learning Center. And I was asked about 2 years into that to give the commencement speech to the nursing program. And one of the things I said to those nurses is, you now are going to work, and in my experience, very seldom will anyone tell you when you've done a good job. Very seldom will anyone tell you they appreciate what you have done. You have to learn to reinforce yourself. And one of the most amazing things to me is how often the board members tell the cabinet how much they appreciate what they're doing. This is just, to me, it's amazing. It's amazing to me how many members of the various positions in this college and how many times the college itself gets awards. This college is a tremendous gem in this community, and it's because of all of you. And I felt I just had to tell you that as your elder. So one last thing I wanted to say is I may not come to every board meeting. I will continue to come because I'm very excited to see Classroom Building 2 work happening over there, to hear other things that are happening and going on here. But Eliminate Racism has a couple of major community things we're going to be moving into, pushing on organizations to do focus groups, kind of like study circles on community policing. We have a situation in Rockford where they call it community policing, but there are only 3 community police. We would like to see all the police be community policemen. Also, we're starting a youth leadership and development academy. And we're going to be running a focus group with that and then starting to push it out in the community. And unfortunately, I'm the one that developed that, and I'm going to have to be involved in it. So If I'm not here, it is not because I don't want to be here. But once again, thank you. Thank you,
And
every one of you.
thank you for your
Thank you.
continued
Thank you very
attendance.
much.
And I thought you said you weren't going to make me cry. Come on now. You said
right.
you would try. Well, you did a good job. All right, do we have any other visitors, recognition of visitors?
No.
So we're going to move on to general presentations.
Yes.
Okay. You can, Studer, education update.
Yes, under general presentations, we have Dr. Janet Pilcher, CEO of Studer Education, to provide us an update. Dr. Pilcher, can you hear us tonight?
I can. Thank you, Dr. Spearman. It's a little fuzzy sometimes, so if we get to conversations and questions, I might need a little help, but I can hear you. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Good. Thank you all. Thank you for this opportunity today, board members, and for the service that you provide to the community and to the institution. I'm going to spend just a short period of time providing an update focused on just a little bit of the purpose of our work and our partners and the connection of how we build higher education communities that are really significant around the country, and you're a part of that. And just wanted to talk a little bit about that. Just go back in time a bit with the initial conversation we had and our connection with Rock Valley, and then where we are today and how we're moving forward. So I'll start with just a little bit about our purpose. And I've been connected to this work since 2010. I had an opportunity to work with Quint Studer, who lives in Pensacola, Florida, which is where I live. I was in higher education, dean of a college at the time, and Quint and I met. He was president of our local hospital, and he had been doing the continuous improvement and leadership work around the country in healthcare and changing the dynamics of healthcare organizations around the country. He also had spent a little bit of time in a hospital in the south side of Chicago. Within a year, moved patient satisfaction scores from the single-digit percentile to the 90th percentile. And so that's why we hired him here in Pensacola to be the president of one of our hospitals, which needed a lot of help. And he initially worked to build that culture and then moved that hospital to win the prestigious Malcolm Baldrige Award. So I just had a great opportunity to connect with him, and he came to me and said, if we could move this into education, you know, what could we do? And so that gave me the motivation to leave the University of West Florida and work in partnership with him to build a network of educational communities where we can build partnerships together. And so my work, and Dr. Conselman, who's been working with you all, our work has been focused in building the higher education network. And I say that because one of the priorities that we focus on is building communities of leaders, executive leaders across the country who are poised to do significant work within their institutions. So we don't work with a lot of higher education institutions. We work with about 15 or 20 at a time. But we're working with community colleges, regional comprehensives, couple research ones, systems, and private universities, where we're just bringing people together who are doing good work and providing the best opportunity for faculty and staff to serve students and to serve communities. And that's just been a passion of mine as I've grown in the work. And so when we think about the work that we do, we've been able to highlight some of our higher education work with our partners across the country every June. And Dr. Spearman and his team have been a part of that. And I just want to thank him. I want to thank the team and the leadership team for the work that they've done, and the board for supporting that over the years, because it's significant work and changing and transforming higher education, which is really important in our world and our country right now. So just really appreciate the work that you all are doing. When we think about the beginnings of Rock Valley College, years ago, Dr. Spearman, I connected with the board chair at the time, Jared, and Jared had contacted us to initially provide executive coaching with Dr. Spearman and to begin to build a foundational piece of the work at Rock Valley College. And so I came on with Dr. Conselman and worked side by side with Jared and Dr. Spearman as we provided the executive coaching, did some initial assessments that were around strategy and culture. And then we began to look at the plan, the strategic plan, and build an execution process to that plan. And so that was the initial connection with Jared and the board. So our work started with a board connection and then an introduction to Dr. Spearman in collaboration as we were working forward. So just really enjoyed that opportunity as we started the work. As we've advanced the work, it's moved to our focus on building consistent leadership practices so that there's consistency across the board in the way leaders are executing the strategic plan. Our focus has been on organizational alignment, and the saying that we repeat often is we're trying to get 1% better every day. What are we doing? Think about sports and athletics, and from a coach perspective, what do we need to do when we're trying to hit our goals and get 1% better every day and just keep getting better and better and better and monitoring our progress. And building that team alignment where we start with the leaders and starting with the leaders to model those leadership behaviors and practices that others can follow. I believe that when we provide good leadership, and we've seen this, when we provide good leadership, most people want to come alongside with us. And so what we do in partnership is we're mainly a facilitator of those practices. We facilitate have a scorecard. We facilitate the execution of that scorecard, aligning it with the key measures that are most important to you all, and then begin to have conversations consistently about how we're doing, what's working, what's not working. If it's not working, what do we do to build those improvements, and how do we cascade that down, and how do we develop leaders to continue to provide those improvements day in and day out. And so how does the board connect to that? Dr. Spearman, as you all know, provides the updates to you all based on the results, and hopefully shares, I think he does, what's working and what's not working and how we're continuing to move that progress. And so it's just it's a hardwiring process of a habit of practice of the way that we facilitate those conversations and build the culture and strategy that helps the organization and the institution move forward. And that's the great work that we get to do alongside with you all. And I'll end with this part. Partnership is important to us, the word partner. We use that word because we are always wanting to consider ourselves and position ourselves as a partner in the process to support and help institutions get better and institutions to achieve the goals that are most important and provide the best opportunity for students to be successful and build the economic impact within your communities. So thank you. I wanted to just say thank you to giving us that opportunity and to build that partnership alongside you all through the years as we continue to move forward and look at maximizing the potential of achieving that strategic plan and looking at what's next over the next years to come. You'll be important in that process with providing that input. So thank you all very much. Dr. Spearman, I want to hear the questions that you have, so I may need a little help. It's a little fuzzy in terms of being able to hear, but I'd love to entertain any questions that you have.
Thank you, Dr. Pilcher. I'll hand it over to Chairman Gorski to facilitate the questions.
Trustee Nelson, any questions?
No, sir.
Trustee Trojan?
No.
Trustee Simpson? I have a boatload, but I want to ask them right now. Okay. Student trustee?
No.
None? Okay. No questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Thank you all so much for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Grants update.
Good evening, trustees. You have the grants update in your packet. I'm just going to go over the first couple slides and then I'll open it up for questions. The grants included in this report are for fiscal year 26, and we included any grants that are over $100,000. Although the number of state grants is higher than the number of federal grants, funding is almost equally split between state and federal funding. So we had 21 grants that were over $100,000 for a total of over $7 million split between state and federal. Most of the funds that we have received from both state and federal sources are to support our career and technical education programs and workforce development. And that's for two reasons. One is that we do look for opportunities that match our strategic priorities. But two, that's what a lot of the funding from both the state and federal government is supporting. So it's a mix between what we're looking for and also what's available to us.
While we're getting the slide,
Sure.
question. All the ones for 2026, are those grants that we have actually received
Yes.
money for?
Well, okay, that's a very specific question. We don't always receive the money up front. Sometimes it's on a reimbursement, but those are grants for which we have been promised money.
That we've been approved for?
Correct.
That we
Okay.
might have to submit a receipt for.
Right, some of them are on a reimbursement basis, yeah.
So it's not like we threw them all out there and they're in the hope list?
Oh, no,
They're
no,
all
these
been
are,
approved?
these are, yes, we,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
That,
That's what I wanted.
okay. Thank you for clarifying that question. Yes. There is a slide about some pending opportunities later in the presentation that I wasn't planning to address, but those are grants that we have submitted applications for and are still waiting on results for. So the second slide, it's in your packet as well, and it's okay if you can't get it up in your packet. There is a slide that shows the year-over-year comparison for the last 3 years. And I want to make a note on that, that we did take the grants that are multi-year grants and divide them over the number of years for which they are supporting. So if you have a 4-year grant for $5 million, that is divided across the years, so not all the money is included in 1 year. You will notice from the multi-year comparison that grants have increased from about 5.6 million in 2024 to 6.6 million in 2025 and over 7 million in 2026. Those increases are mainly due to two things. We've had several grants that have been steady over many years, so those provide the basis of those numbers. But we've added the Strengthening Community Colleges grant, which is a multi-year grant that supports career and technical education programs such as welding and mechatronics. That's a large contributor to that increase. And I would say also a large contributor to the increase are the congressionally directed spending funds we have received for capital projects, such as the demolition of the Downtown West property, our fire tower that's currently being constructed, lighting projects, and other capital projects that we've been fortunate to receive congressionally directed funds for. So I would say that is due to the work that Dr. Spearman has done in building relationships with our elected officials.
And so those are single year or maybe 2-year grants applied to the capital project specific to the projects we've got going on
Correct.
now. So going forward, see, I want to do a poor imitation of Bob Trojan. Going up is good, but it may go down or possibly could because unless we get more money from for CL2 or something like that or capital projects, that type of money we won't see. But that would be natural because we're not asking for much more money. Well, we would love somebody to pay for all of CL2 for us. So. That would be great. But it's just that it's going up in part because we have this ongoing project, and we were successful in getting monies for that. So, which is all good. It's all very good. It's going up. It's good, right? So no question. Just a statement, and want to give a heads up to the board that if it flattens out or something, it isn't because of anything that you did or didn't do. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. So, Trustee Nelson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to follow up a little bit on Bob's question, and particularly with regard to federal funding. Heather, I am right that you were at the lobbyist convention in Washington, D.C. Were you?
I was not, no, Jen Thompson was there
Okay.
on our behalf.
Well, it was very illuminating to meet with our congressman who has several community colleges in his district, and he was very supportive and very understanding of our need, very much in favor of technical grants and grants that supported the idea that community colleges provide training for workforce partners, and the idea is that maybe a number of those kids who get those certifications will stay in at least Winnebago County or the surrounding district, Rock Valley College District. However, when we were out in Washington, D.C., the Department of Education building was empty, and the transfer of their work was going to the Department of Labor, who are funded at a small portion of what the Department of Education was funded at. And the Department of Labor building was empty. And so my concern is, and are there any grants that you, this is one question of two or three, are there any grants that you know of where we're overdue on payment? In other words, we've submitted our forms, we've completed the grants, or we're budgeted for an annual amount paid. Are there any grants that we haven't received? Because the thought was that even though Congress had passed a bill that many of these grants should be paid, they didn't. There's a system that they can put into the bill that mandates the payment, and they didn't put that into the bill because they had to rush it. And the administration's position, according to our congressman, was that they took the House by surprise by acting so quickly to dismantle grants that are important for our budget. Obviously, if it's as far as I could tell, it's $3.5 million from the state and $3.5 million from the feds, right? So are there any of the federal grants that are in arrears? That's my first question.
No, any grant that we have an agreement for, we've been provided the money, or they have been making reimbursements at our request.
Okay. And to your knowledge, will that continue, or are you unsure, or is it as is usual with this administration, kind of just in the air?
I would say that go ahead.
I'd just like to preface your answer. I think he's looking for something that would ding the federal government, but specifically, you've been given no reason to believe that we won't be paid or reimbursed for anything so far.
So far, and I would just say that we're cautious and that we don't spend funds before we have an agreement, so we don't put ourselves in jeopardy that way.
Well, I mean, you list in there that that the bulk of your grants are used for concrete things, but the second, the thing that comes in number two is support for students. And so are students getting Pell grants, or are they getting What support for students are we receiving?
So this is separate from Pell Grants, but that is a good question. The support we provide for students through these grant programs are often like, some of them provide tuition for specific programs if they're qualified under the grant, like the Workforce Empowerment Initiative that funds tuition for certain programs. Other support services include like the mental health grants that we have to pay mental health professionals to then support our students. We provide wraparound services through some grants, including some transportation vouchers, just to give examples of the ways that we utilize those funds.
Okay. But can we offer any Pell Grants to students, or do we offer any Pell Grants?
Our students do receive Pell Grants, but that is separate from these discretionary funds. The Pell Grant program is a program through the financial aid department where a student applies for financial aid and then they are or are not eligible for Pell, and that's all done through the student and financial aid, not through these particular grants.
In other words, Pell Grants have not been impacted. We're still getting the money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a straight answer.
Right. Okay.
I have a question.
Well, I think there's a larger thing, whether or not Pell Grants have been impacted, whether or not the overall budget for Pell Grants is the same at the federal level, but that really isn't us. I'll get back to you, but Trustee Nelson's questions were repetitive, and the answers were the same. We haven't been denied any reimbursements, and we haven't been denied any money. The only thing I would add to that would be, have you heard through any peers, have they been denied anything, in community college districts? All right.
To my knowledge, no.
Bob, you wanted to speak.
Yes, a specific one. I know we made an application for AI. Do you know what the status of that grant is?
I do not. So that one is under the pending grants, and here we have not
pending.
heard a status update on that yet.
Well, I've been following up, but we hope to hear within the next less than a month. They split it out between the $6 million request and the $3 million request. And so now we expect to hear some hopefully within the less than a month. We shall see.
I heard an AI bot got a hold of our grant and did away with it because it was afraid that we discovered that it was manipulating finances throughout the United States. So we're not going to see the money because AI won't let us.
No doubt.
So,
Thank you, Dr. Spearman.
Any other questions, Bob? Okay. Grant update for anything else on the grant updates? No? Any other questions on the slides?
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. All right, so we're moving on to approval of the minutes. I'd entertain a motion to approve both the July 14th and the July 28th Committee of the Whole and regular Board of Trustees meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Nelson, Trojan, roll call.
Trojan,
Yes.
Simpson, yes. Nelson,
Yes.
Ortiz Espinoza,
Yes.
and Gorski.
Yes. All right, action items H. I'd entertain a motion to approve claim sheet, check register, July 26, BR 8416. Everybody? Anybody? You want to approve this?
So moved.
Motion by Trojan, seconded by Nelson. Any questions?
I have one question on the last one. Was that for the committee of the whole or the regular? That
Both.
was okay.
We did
Oh,
them
we
both
did them
at the same time.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Trojan,
Yes.
Simpson, yes. Nelson,
Yes.
Ortiz Espinoza,
Yes.
and Gorski.
Yes. Okay, calling for the 2027 election for members of the Board of Trustees, BR 8417. I entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Yay, thank you.
Second.
Second. Okay, roll call. Well,
Trojan.
first of all, I do have discussion. Why do we have to announce this, Joe? The state defines it, the county follows it, and we found in the county rules. Is this kind of like a personnel report? We just kind of made it up or something like that, or? Still occur. Okay, very good, thank you. Because I really, it just acknowledges the dates, I guess, and like for the college, okay. Okay, no other discussion, roll call.
Trojan.
Yes.
Simpson, yes. Nelson,
Yes.
Ortiz Espinoza,
Yes.
and Gorski.
All right, this is the first reading, doesn't actually need a
Say
vote.
yes?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
This is the first reading. Oh, I could say no, somebody else, we could say a tie, and it still, as Joe said, still go forward. But this is the first reading, doesn't require a motion or a second, but approving the update to the Rock Valley College Board Policy Manual, Article 4, Students, first reading, BR 8418. But I would entertain any discussion on it. Anybody have any questions on it this evening?
What do you think, Sarah, as a student?
No questions?
Nothing that jumps out at you?
SDA
It's
have
too
any?
long. That's
It's
my
too long.
comment.
Would SDA or the students have any comment on it? Are they aware of this is being changed, or?
I don't think, because we had SGA today, it wasn't brought up
Okay.
by Alex or anything.
Would it be something you would take to the Student Government Association?
Yeah,
and
probably Tuesday.
sort of present it to them and?
Yeah,
see
that's what I
they-
would ask you to do,
Yeah.
and just bring back to us any comments or questions that they may have on it, but, more importantly to the administration,
Right.
but, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Any other questions? All right, so it's the first reading. Other business, unfinished business, I'm going to limit the internal auditor discussion to no more than 10 minutes, so it's 6:11 now. I'll do a hard cutoff at 6:21. I asked, well, at the last meeting, Trustee Trojan had some questions. We were looking at a list of essentially 10 items that internal auditors usually typically take up in a government environment. And I think Bob's last questions on it were, which ones are we looking at? And since Trustee Nelson wasn't here, I asked Trustee Nelson to be prepared to address whether 2 or 3 of the items that an internal auditor would normally address, or he would expect them to address here at RVC if we engaged an internal auditor. So Trustee Nelson.
Well, I would say this, that first of all, I think we need to hire the auditor first to do a systematic examination and evaluation of our entire district business practices, and then and a very comprehensive one at that, and develop an annual internal audit plan. And then the auditor, I think, should be the one to bring to our attention after doing that, where they think, it looks like we might have to hire a firm, but they think we ought to, how we ought to tackle it and what we ought to tackle first. I would suggest, my interests for myself would be, overall, the auditor must verify in analyzing transactions and procedures, compliance with specifically would start out, I would think, on audits on restricted funds, specially funded payments, and enrollment data. Human resources would likely be another one that would be close to the top, and including payroll, executive compensation, with the idea of making all of those things more regular, I guess, for lack of a better word for me. Capital use and facility management to ensure maximum asset utilization. The auditor may want to take a look and should take a look at some point in CSRS compliance. We've had to pay CSRS taxes, and we're doing a better job, I think, of keeping track of that. But it's very difficult, and an audit may suggest some practices that would improve our ability to manage that. An auditor also might suggest that their firm would want to do an audit on our investment policy compliance, and may want to do a treasury stewardship audit.
I'm going to pause you there. Does anybody have any questions on any of the items that Trustee Nelson's brought up so far?
Well-
Since we have 5 minutes left to go, so.
Yeah, I have a completely different outlook on this. I mean, he said, we'll hire an auditor, and then they will tell us what they're going to audit. Well, that's like giving him a blank check. Come on in and spend money and go around and tell us what you should audit. I think if we're going to hire an internal auditor, we ought to say, we want you to do this because of some problem that we suspect, rather than hire an auditor and you tell us what you should look for. That's like giving them a blank check.
Well, I'd just like to address, you're going into with the assumption that there's something to find, but just having good internal auditing procedures is sometimes just doing it just because it's good policy, not necessarily because you suspect. I don't think Trustee Nelson's suggesting this is a matter of an investigation. It's more good policy to have a check and balance on it. But to your point, Trustee Trojan, I agree. If we engaged an auditor, I would only bring it up for a vote if we picked 2 or 3 things for the auditor to initially look at in the initial agreement, and then after that, pursue anything else. There was a list of 10 items in that list. We already kind of do one with our our virtual chief information officer doing kind of an audit on IT stuff. So we have 9 other things we can take a look at.
We should tell him what we want him or her to audit, not just say, go and find something to audit. I mean, that to me is...
Yeah, I mean, in my past experience with bringing auditors in at, Cole Parmer and ADA, we actually brought in different auditing firms for different aspects of that list. And they were asked to look at specific things. And it wasn't because they necessarily suspected anything. It was our insurance company and everybody else suggested that we do it. And even though they found stuff and we didn't fix it, it seems to me, I don't know why we never fixed some of the stuff. But
Well,
Trustee Simpson, did you have any questions?
I do not.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, go on, John.
Well, I was almost finished, but I think I don't care how the board would want to proceed, but I think that I sincerely believe the auditor should do an overview first, but procurement, competitive bidding, and change order compliance with procedures surely could use the benefit of an internal audit, I believe, after our last experience.
Any other questions? All right, so we'll move on to, we'll continue the discussion, okay, and hopefully with more trustees in attendance. New business.
I have no new business.
Okay, President's update.
Thank you, Chairman Gorski, and good evening, board members. I want to start with a thank you for all involved with the building of the Downtown West Campus and the fabulous ribbon cutting event that took place this month. At the beginning of my presidency, the trustees tasked me with this impactful community project. Of course, it doesn't happen without a strong team. Vice President of Operations, Rick Jinks, was instrumental from beginning to end, and following my presentation, he will provide the board with a punch list update. Vice President Olson, our CFO, put in a lot of hours making sure our bonds were approved. Jennifer Thompson, the marketing communications team, implemented an excellent marketing campaign with materials, commercials, and the coordination of the ribbon cutting ceremony. Janet Taylor, the POM team, project managers, faculty, staff, and cabinet, thank you for the long days and nights making sure the buildings were exceptionally presentable. I also want to thank our 2025 Leader of the Year, Brittany Freiberg, and her team for surpassing our Downtown West campaign goal. It was an honor to be a part of the event, and I truly it was meaningful to see how well received it was by the community. So thank you for being a part of it. Next, we have scheduled another K-20 and Workforce Development Collaborative event for Friday, September 25th. The morning from 8 to noon will focus on our superintendents and K-12 partners. Lunch will begin at 11:45 with a keynote from Woodward's President of Aerospace, Sean McLeavich. Our lunch guests will consist of our K-12 partners and our industry partners. Following the lunch, our K-12 partners are free to leave, and we will begin our Workforce Development Collaborative. Topics will include industry trends, AI and cybersecurity, and K-20 industry partnerships with RVC. Trustees are welcome to attend, and Ann will send you an invite. Next, I want to congratulate Dr. Keith Barnes for being appointed for a 3-year term to the AACC's Commission on Professional Learning and Leadership Capacity. Along with Dr. Barnes, I was reappointed to the same commission. However, I have 2 years remaining of my 3-year commitment. I also want to thank Executive Director and President of ICCB, Dr. Brian Durham, for referring me to be appointed to the Governor's P20 Council, facilitated by Deputy Governor Martin Torres. I will be one of 30-plus members discussing how the state can address AI in K-12 and adult learners in higher education within the state of Illinois. Last but not least, we have hired our new COO, Saba Jaffrey. Saba comes to RVC following an extensive career at Collins Aerospace. Her most recent position was as an executive director of supply chain at RTX Corporation in Arlington, Virginia. Saba served in multiple functional capacities across operations, quality, supply chain, and general management. She holds a Master of Engineering Management and a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering and Management Sciences, both from Northwestern University. Saba is a Rockford native. She grew up attending RVC as a whiz kid and watching performances at Starlight Theater. I'm excited to welcome her back to a place that was part of her own story and look forward to the experience and leadership she will bring to RVC. Saba will begin her tenure on Monday, August 31st. I also want to thank First Staffing for assisting with this search and our HR team for facilitating the on-campus process. And with that, that concludes my report.
Does she live here in Rockford now?
Yes.
Okay.
Trustee Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. President, when was that luncheon and that
The
event?
collaborative, the K-20 and Workforce Development Collaborative will take place Friday, September 25th, starting at 8 a.m., ending approximately around 4:30.
But you're going to send out invitations, yes?
Yes, correct.
And I presume the trustees are invited to attend the whole thing, but if we couldn't do that, lunch would be the thing that you would want us to attend, or what?
Really, you could pick any one of the three. So lunch, I think you would like the lunch because during the lunchtime, we'll have the superintendents and the industry partners together at tables, and you'll be able to hear Sean Levitch speak. But if you want to make it a half a day just to hear the superintendents, you can. If you want to make the afternoon, you could just hear how we interact with the workforce. But either way, when Ann sends the trustees that, you could just let her know if you plan to attend the whole day or just for lunch.
Okay, thank
We'll
you.
take care of it.
Well, before you get to that, so I just shared with President Spearman that I'm taking my first vacation since 2018, leaving on that day. So even though I would consider canceling it to listen to some superintendents, I don't think so. I think I'm going to make my way up to Mackinac Island.
I
So.
thought you were
knock me
going to
over the
Bob's
feather.
Airbnb in Florida.
Yeah, except I'm going to San Marcos or something. So Bob, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just curious, how are you picking the industry partners?
We identified the industry partners from a long history of who we've worked with in our system right now. So we sent there. We've also shared, we also reached out to Foundation, found out which partners that we were partnering with them as well. And I believe that we informed Rockford Chamber as well. At least they are aware of it, but we didn't send an official invite.
Does our new COO have connections with the local Collins Aerospace people?
Oh, definitely. She has a long...
I mean, I assume they'll be invited at least.
Oh, definitely. The RVC Foundation directors are invited as well, and one of them is also a member of Collins Aerospace.
You told me they pulled them out of a bucket, the industry partner bucket with their names in it in Dr. Huntley's office. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this one's going, this one's not. Okay. But
He's
then
kidding.
again, that's September 25th.
25th.
Okay, yeah.
Friday. Where's it going to be held?
At the downtown West Campus in the new community engagement space.
Okay.
Hot dang. Hot dang. All right. Any other questions on that? And we're on the report. Okay. Leadership team?
Yes.
Good evening, trustees. The Cultural Excellence and Belonging Office hosted a school supply drive to support RVC students. Students received an assortment of free school supplies in the Stenstrom Student Center and the downtown West Campus during the first week of classes on August 17th and August 18th, 2026. Numerous RVC employees donated school supplies to demonstrate support for student success. The CEB staff, in conjunction with the adult education staffs, surpassed expectations by serving school supplies to approximately 500 students. Kudos to Lamise Diab, CEB specialist, for her vision and leadership, along with the CEB staff and the adult education staff who volunteered, and the RVC faculty, staff, and departments who donated school supplies. That ends my report. Thank you.
Any questions? And congratulations on the news that President Spearman offered for you on the appointment. So congratulations.
Good evening, trustees. I have several brief updates for you this evening. Of course, the fall semester is underway, and it's wonderful to welcome all of our students back to campus. The fall semester also brings the start of our fall sports. Men's and women's soccer, women's volleyball, their regular seasons are underway and going strong. And our fall seasons for baseball, softball, and men's and women's golf are also underway. Speaking of athletics, I am excited to announce to you that we are going to hold an athletic fields ribbon cutting ceremony on Wednesday, September 23rd, starting at approximately 12:30 p.m. Invitations and more details will be coming soon. Again, Wednesday, September 23rd, early afternoon. The ribbon cutting will take place on the baseball field, and then invite guests to tour that field, and then the softball field, and then join us for some food and some fun at the women and men's soccer games, both playing Harper College. Women start at 2 o'clock, men's game will start at 4 o'clock, respectively. With the start of the fall semester, our student life and student clubs and organizations are very busy this last week and this week with engaging Welcome Week activities. I'm also pleased to announce that our newest Stenstrom Center food vendor, TNC Cooking Creations, has opened for the fall semester. They opened last week, Monday. They'll be open Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. and serve a diverse array of offerings from soul food to mac and cheese, roasted pork, jerk chicken, and more. And that menu will continue to grow and diversify for the next several weeks. Finally, I want to take a moment to thank Marcia Abrahams for her wonderful 27 years of service to Rock Valley College and wish her well in her upcoming retirement at the end of this month. Marcia's journey at Rock Valley began in 1999 with the Adult Education Department, where she served as a secretary, ensuring student records were meticulously maintained and every student was set up for success. In 2000, she stepped into a vital role as a telecommunicator for the RVC Police Department. More recently, for the last decade or so, Marcia has served as the administrative assistant to the Dean of Students Office. In this role, she has been a steady pillar of support, handling complex student misconduct cases with care, skillfully de-escalating students that are navigating mental health and personal crises, and coordinating countless details that make our annual commencement ceremony so memorable. So thank you again to Marcia for her dedication and service to Rock Valley College. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Oh, and somebody will be notifying us of the activities on the 23rd then?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
As Dr. Pryor mentioned, the fall semester has begun, and with that comes enrollment. So as of this week, fall enrollment is 1% ahead of last year, 5% ahead of budget, and the stretch goal has been met. Enrollment will continue to fluctuate as the last day to drop 16-week courses approaches, and we continue to enroll students in late start classes. As a whole, FY27 enrollment is flat compared to last year, 5% ahead of budget, and 1% ahead of the stretch goal. And that concludes my report.
Any questions?
I thought you said it's 1% ahead.
Of stretch goal.
For the fall
Year to
only.
year.
For the fall.
For fall. If you look at summer and fall,
Oh,
which,
if you add those together.
yes, then it's flat.
It's
Yep.
flat, and we've met the stretch.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay. Trustee Nelson?
So overall, is the fall this year more than last year or even or
Right now, fall is 1% ahead of last year. We still might have some
dropouts?
drops and some ads for late start, so we'll see how it shakes out.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that, do you think that's good, average? We'd like to do better? What's your realistic assessment?
I think it's good. Of course, we'd always like to do better, but I think it's good that we're trending similarly.
Okay.
Ads
all I wanna know.
Ads
Okay.
and drops might be a wash, though.
It might be a wash.
Okay, so, but even if we came out, even, it'd still be good news rather than a drop or something like that. So, thank you. That's good news.
Do we keep track of the other colleges in the Northwest region and
Yeah.
also statewide?
Yeah, we do. So I know Ellen's CFO colleagues have already been asking each other. The IR colleagues tend to ask each other, so we get some unofficial information. And then officially, ICCB will come up with a report that shows how all colleges compare.
That won't
So
come
when
out
we
till
have the
later in the
official
fall, early winter,
comparison.
though, right?
Huh?
That won't come out till the fall or the early winter, though,
It'll
right?
be a while because they have to collect the information from all the
Right.
colleges and do their reports, yeah.
And will we see an update on that then at the end of the semester or?
We could, if you'd like.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
We must be mindful of the coming cliff.
Yes.
And if I read one, I read 2 or 3 articles in the last 2 weeks about the cliff, not just because of the demographics, but also less students are going to college for a variety of reasons. And so we have to be mindful. If you're flat, okay, but if you're down, that's not so good. So being flat and slightly up against the previous year, I think is holding its own, and that's good.
Yeah, I know I've sent some stuff out on the cliff to the trustees, and some of them are seeing it as new, but it's been around. It's been around as long as I've been a trustee, and probably longer. And there was a drop off during COVID, but the college has rebounded pretty well since the COVID days. And some of the cliff stuff that you've seen, especially in the state of Florida, is large part because a lot of immigrants aren't enrolling because of current federal immigration policy. In one county alone, they lose 11,000 students. Neighboring county, 9,000 students. Hopefully we don't see anything like that here. But yes, there is a decline in it. But part of the initiative of going after a little bit older students in an older bracket to help compensate for that, people that we may not have focused on as much in the past that we're focusing on now, to try to bring those people in. So thank you. Thanks very much. What?
Good evening, trustees.
Part of your goal.
Good evening.
The college would like to extend gratitude to Mrs. Dana Coates, Director of Talent Acquisition and Development, for coordinating the ice cream social held for employees on August 6th. We appreciate the efforts put forth in planning this event, our vendors, Sips and Sprinkles, and all who were able to participate. Human Resources is excited to welcome Mrs. Leah Williams to the college as one of the Human Resources business partners. Mr. Justin Severson has started to serve in his new role as one of the Human Resources business partners. And additionally, Mrs. Allison Kaberg has started her new role as a professional development specialist. Please help us welcome and support them in their new roles on the Human Resources team. This concludes my report.
I think I get a couple trustees making fun of Sips and Sprinkles, but isn't that a place?
No, we were saying we wish we were invited. We would have been there.
Okay.
I mean, we work for food, right?
Yes, sir. Duly noted. When we have any food, we will make sure you are aware.
Well,
Whenever there's food, let us know.
And since I do tease her
Yes, sir.
regularly, Trustee Kadia would have probably appreciated a heads up on that, too. I don't know how much she is for ice cream, but I know all the Gorskys are, so thank you. But thank you for that report. So.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members. I have a few updates for construction projects tonight. The Downtown West project continues to move closer to completion. As everybody is aware, classes have started and overall things appear to be going well at the site. We are currently compiling the total punch list for the items that need to be fixed or adjusted relating to the construction. All of this information is being entered into a database called Procore to allow for monitoring of the items, completion rates, and proper documentation. Inputting of all the items should be completed by the end of this week, with contractors already working on items that have been entered. At this point, like others, I wanted to thank all the people who helped make this happen. This really was a team effort that included all of the operations division, academics, student affairs, and many others. Everyone came together and worked through the issues to make the opening a success and allow for students and staff to start the semesters in these two new wonderful buildings. I also wanted to give an update on the athletic field turf installation. The project is nearing completion. The baseball field is complete and softball should be completed in the next couple of days. Crews continue to work on the soccer field, and I'm being told the entire project should be completed by the end of August. The third project I wanted to give an update on is for the CL2 project, specifically the addition of a second elevator. CDB, RVC, and the architects had a meeting with the State Historical and Preservation Office, commonly referred to as SHPO, on August 6, 2026. SHPO was in favor of adding the second elevator and felt the addition of the elevator far outweighed any issue SHPO might have with the installation. During conversations with CDB after the meeting, and later with the architects, it was determined that since the second elevator was mentioned in the preliminary documents for the construction and a plan including a second elevator option was not offered by the architects, CDB has agreed to include the second elevator in the base bid. The architects will now work on offering alternate methods for materials and design aspects to reduce the overall cost of the project. These items that will then be listed as alternate pricing options for the college, so the college can choose to select to increase the additional funding for the project if the college wants to in the future. Finally, I wanted to thank everyone that I've worked with over the past 28 years here at Rock Valley College. The college has been a second home to me, and the people here feel like family. As you are all aware, I will retire September 30th, and this will be my last board meeting as the Chief Operations Officer, as my replacement is scheduled to start August 31st, 2026. I would like to wish the board, cabinet, my staff, and the rest of the community college the best of luck in the future, and I hope your future is one of joy and happiness. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your service.
Questions?
And before, I just want to make sure it's entered into the minutes that I did two high fives for the elevator, so I just want to make sure that makes it into the minutes. I'm like, yes, thank you very much thank you for pursuing it. And I don't know if they just discovered it or if you pointed it out, but thank you for their discovery that it was listed in the preliminary plans, kind of guilting them into, yes, we'll consider that. So thanks, appreciate it. Trustee Nelson.
Have you prepared 2 envelopes?
2 envelopes?
First one says blame your predecessor.
Oh.
And the second one says prepare 2 envelopes.
No, I haven't done that yet, sir.
It's okay. Maybe we can have the internal auditor create those for him, so.
Good evening, trustees. As we mentioned previously, we are back in full swing with the new academic year. We were able to welcome 7 new faculty members at our new faculty orientation on August 13th, and in total have onboarded a total of 9 new faculty. We're very fortunate to have a faculty of such quality and talent join our team. Additionally, I wanted to provide a brief update on the tuition waivers that the Board of Trustees allocated for Downtown West. As of this morning, waivers totaling approximately $10,025 have been allocated to support students taking courses at Downtown West. We are thankful to be able to support our students in such a way. I also wanted to make sure to invite you to the first Tuesday lecture of the new academic year. Dr. Rob Srigler and Professor Lucas Greenlee will be presenting Bagpipes, a history and continuing the culture in Rockford, where they will discuss the history of the bagpipes and how the instrument adds to the culture of Rockford, concluding with a performance on pipes and drums. I'm sure it'll be a really good time, so I hope you can join us on actually this coming Tuesday. And lastly, I would like to invite you all to our upcoming Fall Professional Development Day. It will be held on the following Tuesday, September 8th, with the theme of the mission, vision, and values of a caring campus. I hope to see you all there.
So when and what time?
That will be, it starts at approximately 8:30, and that's Tuesday, September 8th. And I believe that we will be forwarding you an agenda, so you're able to take a look at that agenda to plan out which breakout sessions you're going to attend.
And which lovely place do we stay?
It will be in the PEC.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you for the report. Is that it? All right. So, Sarah Ortiz Espinoza, student trustee report.
Okay, so I want to give a little update on the Romoon Rockford Model United Nations conference that's coming up in October. We finally have a website on RVC, on the RVC website, and we have finally finalized the crisis committee ideas for this conference. We plan on reaching out to clubs and partner schools for more ideas. Just so you guys remember, it's going to be October 8th and 9th. And Model UN wants to invite Dr. Spearman and the mayor of Rockford to this conference. Trustees and or members of the RVC board are encouraged to volunteer or attend this conference if you can. Also, the Club Involvement Fair on August 18th was a fantastic way to encourage the students of Rock Valley College to join clubs and on-campus activities. Through this, students can find ways to connect to the campus and find more and new opportunities. And I wanted to give a Student Government Association, SGA, update. So we are now requiring every club to send at least one representative to every SGA meeting each week, every Tuesday. And now that we're up and running again, we have many plans to connect the students of RVC to SGA to not only represent SGA more, not only on the main campus, but we also want to expand. We want to go to every other campus as well. We think it's really important, especially because Alex Johnson shared with us that they had gone to, I think it was the Aviation Center, and Alex, I guess, saw that they really appreciated SGA going over there and representing SGA to them, because I mean we I guess we rarely go there, and our goal is to expand And I've also come up with the idea of getting permission to start up more social media for RVC clubs in order to connect more with the students.
Any questions? Just a comment. Thank you for the very thorough report. When was that date of the event you were going to invite President Spearman and the Mayor of Rockford?
October 8th and 9th, or probably the 8th, because that's going to be the,
Okay, well, the Mayor of Rockford position's kind of in flux right now because the current mayor is leaving office in just a few days.
it's, we plan on inviting whoever's going to be.
If you're looking for a substitute, obviously it's not a directive, it's just a suggestion. You might invite the Winnebago County Board Chairman or the Belvedere, mayor or something like that. Somebody that's actually, not just a placeholder.
Right.
So, okay. Just a suggestion.
I think they swore her in.
I think they did.
Yeah,
I know, but still, it's temporary.
yeah.
Well, right, but I mean.
October 8th and 9th.
Yes.
First of all, when and what time is it? And when you say you're asking other trustees to volunteer, will we be parking cars or what
No.
kind of thing will we be doing?
Basically, we don't have, because we're still planning it out, of course, but you can volunteer, to, I guess, help lead the students to where they're supposed to go, stuff like that, or just, because we plan on having merch as well for RVC, or, the conference in general, maybe helping with that, or if you just, want to be there, that would be.
Well, it's on, the plan is ongoing. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know what time it would start? And
so
or are we still working on that, Joe?
We're still kind of working on that, but it's gonna be early in the day, so maybe around 11 a.m. or 12.
That's early?
Not too early, but.
So, and do you have a place? Is it going to be in the student center?
It's going to be, I'm pretty sure we're going to have our introduction and I'm not sure yet, because we're still trying to look for the area.
We got time.
But it's going to be on the main campus, definitely.
Okay.
So when you get it all planned out, you will issue some kind of an agenda so we know specifically what's going on?
Yes.
I'm sure the president's office can help distribute that to the trustees.
Yeah. So we know,
Yeah, we're going to have an agenda set soon. Yeah.
Typically with the agenda.
Is there going to be food?
You'll work with Dr. Pryor to help you with that, or somebody from his team. and
Yeah.
then we'll get
Okay,
it.
yeah,
So
that's
don't
perfect.
even worry about it. Just, you'll work through that agenda with him and share it without.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you again for the very thorough report. Any other questions? All right. I would ask Trustee Nelson to combine his ICTA report and his trustee report, if any, together. Okay.
Well, that will be easy. I'm going to be on vacation for the next ICCTA meeting. And they had an executive meeting, I know, but I didn't hear of anything important that took place. I saw that Bill Kelly had resigned or had been replaced on the board. Bill is a long-standing member of ICCTA, and he'll be sorely missed. In any event, if we can get, we should, I hope, be able to get some trustees to attend. And if anybody is going to go, please let me know. And I have a good friend of mine that'll be there and can show you around and stuff like that. Okay. Was a stalwart in the organization.
Is that it then?
Yeah. Well, you wanted a combo report.
Yeah, combo report.
You know, as a trustee, I think the downtown building was quite the success, and quite honestly, it ought to be. But I really hope, and I think we ought to make an appeal to the public that anybody who wants to take advantage of the great courses we're going to have there, please sign up. We're making it. We have introductory offers, and as Bob has eloquently put it, we need to fill the seats.
Well, like a lot of the prisons in built in the United States, sometimes they build the building and they don't fund the staff for it. And President Spearman's got to release those funds for staff. Otherwise, nobody's going to come down there, right? No, just joking. Just joking. I think they're doing everything they can to put people in the seats and all the different programs.
Well, and I think the community should help us. They certainly were extremely happy to have it open there, and I've gotten a lot of compliments and on it, and but I don't think it's unfair to ask for our
I've got a lot of compliments on it too, but when you tell them how much it costs, their jaws go, "Really?" I said, "Yes."
Well,
it's okay. It's done. So.
Give me some people to put there, and let's make this thing work like a dream.
Yep.
You got any problem with that, Bob?
Not at all.
And that nice segue to Bob and the foundation and your trustee reports. Any questions?
Well, from the day we did the tour, we mean Sarah and I, on Wednesday to Friday, that 2-day period right there was like night and day. What a remarkable improvement. It's amazing how it changed just in those 2 days. Now, on the other flip side, I have to register this complaint. Tonight, the Starlight staff is holding their special event, which will also include looking into next year for the plays that are going to be held next year. I went to it last year, and it was really fun, and it was really cool because, you know, we learned kind of what the plays were going to be so that this summer you see the plays, hey, I remember that. Well, they're doing it tonight, board meeting. A couple weeks ago, they had one for donors. Guess what? It was on the cow night. Now, you know, I know there's a lot of other kinds of events, but certainly in the case of the Starlight, I know 3 of us have yacked about Starlight attendance. Please, Chris, do it on another night besides the board or cow night.
I couldn't endorse what Bob has said anymore. My wife works, as I think most people know, in the costume shop, and they do an excellent job. I concur. We'd like to help more.
So, like previous board chairs conducted what I consider probably illegal meetings outside of the regular board by doing round robin calls and giving people a heads up and tallying up votes and stuff like that. Now, I just talked to you about this today, didn't I? That I'm going to pull together the board and we're going to talk about this in terms of not only Starlight events, but are there any other events that we would like staff to try to avoid scheduling on board nights so we can serve, either be participants or be ambassadors to the public, you know, for, see, even John doesn't know about it. So, I mean, I haven't gone and tapped anybody's shoulder yet. So I wanted to talk about this as a group, hopefully with more trustees, just to see if there's anything else, and then document that and present it to President Spearman so we can talk to his staff about it and advise them. So it's just not a piecemeal thing. Oh, it's this type of Starlight thing, or it's this type, or this event and this event. Just us think about it, get a list, and so we're not coming back and forth and picking. So I think that's fair. So, all right.
And we have, in fairness, we have gotten lists of events at every meeting, except I didn't see one in this one.
For the committee of the whole.
Yeah. But, and we get a highlight usually, and that's great. But I kind of think it's odd to do this a board night.
Well, we'll talk about it and then get a list of not only this, but anything else that might be, which I think it's going to be a short list. And then just so we're not going back and forth piecemeal on this type of stuff, so.
Okay, moving on to the foundation.
Foundation,
847 applications have been submitted during the best chance and last chance application period. 335 have been awarded for 302 students, mainly for the best chance because there's been some glitches technically on the last chance awards. So far, the award dollars, $572,105. There are 2 upcoming events, which trustees are always invited to. The first one is October the 1st, which is the Golden Eagle Breakfast, Family Breakfast. It's always an enjoyable event. Guess where it's going to be? Downtown West. And then the second one is the October 30th, the annual scholarship luncheon, to be held at Hard Rock Cafe, and I know it's going to be like 250 total attendees. It keeps growing every single year, and so it outgrew to the point where now they have to have it at Hard Rock, and even including special accommodations for the young people. Got to come in a different entrance than the adults. But anyway, hopefully the trustees can attend those 2 events, which are always fun.
What time?
It's a luncheon. It's 11:30 to about 1 o'clock.
And the Golden Eagle breakfast?
Huh?
The breakfast?
The breakfast is at the downtown engagement center.
Usually start around 8 a.m.
Which I guess is the learning center, yeah?
The breakfast usually start around 8 a.m.
Starts at 8:30 to 9:30.
Yeah.
Sorry, 8 o'clock, the meeting starts at 8:30.
There you go.
So 8 o'clock, you get your coffee rolls and bacon and eggs and all that kind of thing.
Anything else?
That's it.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for that report. All right, personnel reports in your packet for review.
Is it my turn then? Did you just skip me?
Oh, I'm sorry. You usually just take a pass. I'm sorry.
I
Go
usually
ahead.
do, but
What do you
today I
got?
want to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to thank Rick for the tour. That was a very lovely tour, and everything looked great. I did miss the actual ribbon cutting, but on a positive note, I did get to meet Mrs. Barnes at that moment of that, and she was very lovely. It was an event that I couldn't miss, the UIC White Coat Ceremony, but I did come late. I saw a couple of you, but it looked like a very successful event with all of the pictures, so kudos to everybody involved, and that's all I have. Now you can go on.
I'm sorry. So I cry at a meeting and I insult somebody. What's my third faux pas tonight? I don't know. Personnel report 8419 for in your packet for review. Freedom of Information Act. It's in your packet for review. So I'd like to announce the date of the next committee of the whole meeting, September 8, 2026, right here. Date of the next regular Board of Trustees meeting, September 22nd, 5:15 p.m., right here. There was a tentative plan to have it someplace else, but we're going to reschedule that for a future date. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as an independent contractors in a park, recreational, or educational setting per Section 2C1, and/or 2, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees and/or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for 1 or more classes of employees per Section 2C2, and/or 3, the selection of a person to fill a public office as defined in this act, including a vacancy in a public office when the public body is given the power to appoint under law of ordinance or the discipline, the performance or removal of an occupant of public office when the public body is given power to remove the occupant under law or ordinance per Section 2C3, all in accordance with the Illinois Opens Meeting Act.
So moved.
So moved. Ortiz Espinoza, seconded by Nelson. Roll call.
Trojan,
Yes.
Simpson, yes. Nelson,
Yes.
Ortiz Espinoza,
Yes.
and Gorski.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to take the items in order of the motion. So who do we pick?
Dr.
Reconvene into open session. I'd like to remind people that there was no final action taken in closed session. But we're under item O, action as a result of closed session. I would like entertain a motion to appoint Terry L. Knight of 2110 Rivington Road, Loves Park, Illinois, 61111, to fill the vacancy of Rock Valley College Board Trustee. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
By Nelson, seconded by?
Second.
Second by Sarah. Any discussion? Roll call.
Trojan,
Yep.
Simpson, yes. Nelson,
Yes.
Diaz Espinoza,
Yes.
and Gorski.
Yes.
Motion to reconsider.
A motion to reconsider the vote we just had.
Yes.
Okay, what's the order of, how do we handle that?
Well, there has to be a second, and then we vote again.
You second it,
My vote
Kristen?
will be no, but I just think it's something that needs to be done to make it final.
What are we doing? I'm confused.
You want to reconsider I'll second it. Okay.
What are we reconsidering?
The vote we just had. So you want to have a vote to undo the vote we just had?
Yes, I want to have the vote. I'm going to vote against it.
Okay. Would you like to speak to it, or is there any speaking to a motion to reconsider?
I don't
Usually you can't take action on the same motion within the same meeting.
On the same night?
Yeah.
Well, yes, I think reconsideration it happens on the same night or a meeting soon thereafter, but usually not seconds later.
Correct.
So
think it's
we're discussing a motion to reconsider. Is discussion allowed under a motion to reconsider?
Yes.
There's some, okay. All right. So, motion to reconsider, and Trustee Nelson is already declared that he would vote against it. Would you be asking us to vote against it too?
I guess I don't understand what we're saying. I have no, I'm very
He's
confused.
asking us to vote to undo the vote we just had, and he's asking us to vote no against it.
He's going to vote, he wants to vote no now instead of yes.
Right.
But not to the
Terry Knight.
appointment, to the reconsideration of it.
Yes, I'm voting against my own motion.
You want the motion to fail?
I do.
Okay. Okay, I'll second it.
You did.
Okay, and so let's have, you want your motion to fail.
Right. You can call me first.
This isn't, okay, this is just the motion to reconsider, not actual vote. It's been seconded, there's been discussion, roll
Right.
call.
If
Motion
it passed,
to,
then we'd have to go back to the start.
Oh, okay.
okay, so or motioning to what?
Reconsider the vote
Okay.
on filling the vacancy. So,
So he'd be
roll
considered the
call.
first.
roll call. Yeah, I was the first, and I was second, roll call.
And then you are second. And then Trojan,
Yes.
Simpson,
No.
No.
I guess I still don't understand what I'm even voting for. Am I saying that
We shouldn't reconsider.
we
if-
should not reconsider?
Right.
Okay.
So if you don't want to reconsider it, vote no.
No.
No. Change mine to no.
Okay.
I don't know. Nelson,
No.
No.
Sarah?
Ortiz Espinoza,
No.
and Gorski.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
Not sure
and
what I
just
just
for
voted on,
just
but-
for the record, since this is on television or YouTube or something, I think Trustees Nelson's goal is that you can only reconsider a vote once. So,
Yeah.
so this vote is final. So,
right.
so I'll reach out to Terry Knight and Joe. Do we need an actionable, I mean, I would like to put it on the agenda for the cow. Do we need a special meeting, or can I just put it under presentations and have her sworn in?
The practice has been to have a special meeting when the board takes any action, rather than having an action item on the cow agenda.
Okay,
That's been your practice.
okay.
My time with you, I've not seen action item added to the cow agenda.
Okay, so for the record, I'd like the special meeting to appoint Terry All Night. It's scheduled for 5:15 in advance of the regular meeting, or the cow, in September. And then that's just a minute or two, and then we go straight into the regular meeting.
We would need to swear her in.
Yeah, swear her in. And then she's active member of the cow then, for that evening, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, if there's no other, there's nothing else on the agenda, and entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Woo-hoo, thank you. Sarah,
I'll second.
seconded by trustee Nelson.
Bob's working his phone here.
Roll call.
Trojan,
Yep.
Simpson, yes. Nelson,
Yes.
and Ortiz Espinoza,
Yes.
and Gorski.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you for those parliamentary hoops, trustee Nelson.
I don't know, I was still confused.